Welcome in 7:45 on a Wednesday night. We are live chatting Dynasty Fantasy Football trades. I'm checking out the TikTok live. There are people popping in. If you are watching on the TikTok, we've got portrait at the top. I don't know why I'm putting my hand up. You can't, it's all the top for you if you're on portrait. For me, the top is up here, but you also have the landscape mode if you are looking to see this chat thrown into landscape. If you're watching on TikTok, you want to turn your phone a little bit sideways. There should be a square on your screen for jumping into landscape mode where you will be able to see the trades that we have up on the screen today. Every trade that we cover today is going to have been from the audience, from the new Boom Bust Fantasy website, boombustfantasy.com, where we are taking in your live trades. Let's pull the first one up on the screen. We are still, do I have a schmutz on me? Or is that a shadow? It's a big chunk of hair on my shirt. Did not catch that until right now. We're coming in live. Let me pull up the first trade on the screen. This one here, let's get right to it. This is a perfect trade for April. We're going to put it on the screen. Hopefully this comes up for you guys. Here it is. This is a 12-team Superflex start 8, half point for a tight end premium. The trade comes through. Kogonzo is asking Nico Collins or Rome Odunze. And the reason I say this is the perfect trade for April is because what we're looking at here, we have an older player in Nico Collins and Rome Odunze, a younger player that we think can step up to become possibly better than Nico Collins. Even if you think Rome Odunze will become better than Nico Collins in a 12-team league, you got to go with the Nico Collins side here. Because we're, how many months away from the start of the season? If we just say we're going to go through all of April, May, June, July, August, and then at the start, September, we have 5 months of Nico Collins being more valuable than Rome Odunze. So even if you believe that Rome Odunze is the better option for this year, you should be getting more on top in a deal like this. Nico Collins for Rome Odunze. You want the Nico Collins side because you should assume that what we're going to do between August, or I don't know why I said August, between April, May, June, is make other trades. So in this one, I'm going to take the Nico Collins side. We'll submit that. Some of these are going to be easier than others. These are all trades that people are asking about. And before we jump into the next trade, I see some people in the chat like Bush did 911, one very funny name. How do I get you to grade trades for your Dynasty League? Let's pull this up. I like to start the show. I don't know why I say like to. This is our second time doing this, but I did want to start the show with a trade, so we jump right into one. If you are looking to get your trades reviewed on the stream, we can get to them. What you'll need to do, we have our browser, is come to the new boombustfantasy.com. Here, let me find where I have this for showing you guys. Once you log in on the site, it'll ask you to log in. On your profile in the top right here, it's going to, once you log in, it's going to ask you to come in on your profile page and sync your sleeper leagues. So if you type in your sleeper name, it's going to pull every league that you are currently in. And from there, once you have that, you can hit the drop down. I'm in a few leagues, you can click onto that. It's going to select your league. So say I want to go with Boom Bust 3. We set that. It is now set up here in the top right, and you come to trade advice. There is a note here saying the site is currently in testing, which means all of the trade questions that you ask are all free right now. While we're testing this, we're figuring it out. All the advice isn't really testing. The players are the players. I think I know a thing or two. You can come here. It's just like any trade calculator. Say on Keep Trade Cuts, say you want to know, should you trade Josh Allen for Jaden Daniels or Drake May? Let's go with Drake May. You type in those names, you select that. What we have here is you can post this to Discord for community feedback, or you can request a review on top. Now, this does here say that it will use 1 trade credit. There's no trade credits right now. We're in testing. In the future, probably won't stay free. But what we have here, if the free version, you can always post this to Discord just with this checked and hit submit for community review. It will come to our Discord and it'll post your trade to our Dynasty Trade Questions channel. Here, the Boombot will say who you are in our Discord. It'll post your trade. You can type in your notes. It'll give a link for your specific trade and all of your where people can come in and check who's on your team. If anyone clicks on this, they can scroll down and see here you are. What are you doing, Stepborough? They submitted a trade today. Here's their current team. Here's every team in their league. Here's all of the picks they have. Here's the trade that they're asking about with their league scoring. That is how you submit that. Bush did 9/11. So anything that you submit right now, I do have a dashboard that's not showing up on screen where you guys can see the trades, where I can see the trades that I'm about to go through. So if you are looking to submit one, feel free to do that there. Anytime you submit this not during the live, it'll be queued up for the next trade show. So we've covered the first one. Let's jump into the second trade. Lucas, I see you in the Twitch chat. D, I see you in the YouTube chat saying what's good. Lucas, what's good? How's the stream today? D saying let's go. Getting it ready. We did this 2 weeks ago and realized I was sicker than I thought. But we're good to go today. We're healthier. We've covered the first trade. Let's take a sip and jump into this next one here. We'll set this one live. It should update on the screen. I think I just needed to click in. Here we go. Someone wants to know, should they trade the 101 and get in the 103 and 105? The league scoring here would play a slight difference. We're in a 10-team Superflex start 9. If you're trading from the 101 back to the 103 and the 105, there's a very good chance you're getting a really good receiver at 103. I'm not sure if this team needs a quarterback. I can see their roster. For this specific team, they have Tyler Shuck, Daniel Jones, Matt Stafford, Malik Willis. So they may be wanting to take someone like Fernando Mendoza here. They have the 101. They're saying, should I trade back and pick up the 103 and 105? I don't hate it. I would say there are other options. If you have the 101, you could trade back to the 103 and get a quarterback from someone, or you could trade back to a 102 or 104 and get a quarterback from that person. You don't just have to take Fernando Mendoza here. There are other options for making a trade. If you have the 101, do I like getting the 103 and 105? If I am, I really want to be doing that, thinking that someone else is taking Mendoza and I'm going to end up with two of the wide receivers. I don't know that you're going to get a lot more than the 103 and 105. I do see the context of this person submitting the trade. They have Devon Achane, they have James Cook, they have Christian McCaffrey, Javonte Williams. So they are set at running back. What I would add in, if you're just looking to get wide receiver or something else, you can do other options, but this is enough value where I would be open to moving back the 101 to the 103 and 105. I don't know that you're going to get a lot more. There may still be a few people who say there's no way I want Jeremiah Love, but I think that one is okay to make the move from. Let's see, we have some people typing their trades in the TikTok chat. We are really just going to cover trades coming through the site. The trade stuff here will eventually, in the future, once testing is done, be something that goes through with a paid element. So just stuff in the chat. Trade questions are all free. If you submit them, it's just submit them through the site. Let's go to the next one. It's updating here. It's pulling up on my screen. Superflex, 12 teams, start 11 PPR. This is a best ball league. I don't know that that's going to come into play here with the players and picks that we have here. It's a start 11 PPR half point tight end premium. Trade Justin Herbert for Jared Goff, the 111 and a projected late 27 second. I think I'm sticking with the Justin Herbert side here. Sometimes the trades are very close. Sometimes a trade is just a fair trade. If I'm looking at this, if I have Justin Herbert, even in a deeper league, I mean, if I'm looking at their team, they have Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jameis Winston, Geno Smith, but they're bringing in Jared Goff in the 111. They're not really getting any extra quarterbacks. They're just going from Herbert to Goff, who's older and not quite as good as Justin Herbert. I think I'm staying with the Justin Herbert side. I'm going to look at their context here. It's a super flex start 11. They have Lamar and Geno. Your league values Geno so low, so there's no upgrade potential here. So they were forced to move Goff on. I think they moved Goff and brought in Justin Herbert. And I could say that's fine. I'm not moving Justin Herbert to get this other side. I'd be fine moving Goff the 111 and a late 27 second for Justin Herbert. I don't know that it's just a slam dunk massive win, but I'm definitely going to say that I prefer the Justin Herbert side on that one. AJ Lopez saying the GOAT has returned. Thank you very much. I guess we haven't covered Dynasty trades in a while. We haven't done a live fantasy show in a while. We will say that. We still cover fantasy. We're still live every day. We are live every day, 11 to 2. We're just not covering fantasy football during the off season on the live streams. There's just not as much demand for it, AJ. We do Twitch gaming, YouTube gaming, 11 to 2. We separated that into a Boom Bust gaming page. So for the people who are not interested in that, it stays separate. It stays separated. But if you're interested, there is TikTok Boom Bust Gaming, YouTube Boom Bust Gaming. On Twitch, it's harder to change your name, and we hit different levels of monetization on Twitch where it didn't make sense to make a new account. We got this next trade from Gonzo on Gridiron Chronicles. This is a 12-team super flex start 10 PPR with a full point tight end premium. Scoob, I see it. Yeah, it's a separation of church and state, and really just keeping things in a niche. So if someone only wants to see their fantasy football trades covered, that's all that they can follow one TikTok page and only get that. Here, this trade, we've got Malik Neighbors for the 106, 110, 111. And this is one of the reasons we made a TikTok last week it was more about Amon-Ra St. Brown trading for 3 firsts. And this is one of the reasons why I say, I say the words. If I have Malik, if I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm not moving them for at least 3 firsts unless I'm getting at least 3 firsts. It doesn't mean like this. Someone sending Malik, they're getting 3 first-round picks in this year. And it's not just specifically because this isn't a great draft at the back half of the first round. Like the 110, 111 is probably going to be some borderline first round, second round wide NFL draft wide receivers, or some second or third round running backs. And those don't have an amazing hit rate. It's not strictly because of that, but if you're moving off of Malik Neighbors, I think you can get more if you're tiering down. So trading Malik Neighbors on this team, may have already made this trade. Yeah, it looks like this team, or I'm not sure which side is getting. When people submit the trades through the site, I don't always know which side the manager who submitted the trade is getting. In this deal, I would take the Malik Neighbors side, where if I'm down tiering, I don't really just want to bring in the 111 and 110 in a weaker draft as the 3 firsts I'm getting. I would much rather take Malik Neighbors and something else on my team, get a first round pick either this year or next year, and bring in another player that has a chance to get better, or another player that I could pair with other things on my team and down tier from them and get more first round picks in that way. I think just going from Malik Neighbors to just picks is too far of a down tier for me to take that. So I'm going to take the Malik Neighbors side in this deal. Let's pull up the next one. Going to hit refresh here. We are testing the site out right now. So if you guys want to submit your trades, I do see one that came in 1 minute ago from Pokey Chop, if they're in the chat. We'll jump to that one right now. So this one just came through from, I think, someone on the live, or coincidentally at the same time. Here's the deal. It is a 10-team, 1 quarterback, start 8. Who would you rather have, Chuba Hubbard or J.K. Dobbins and the 210? And this one is just kind of, no disrespect, a bit of junk v junk. Who are we taking, J.K. Dobbins or Chuba Hubbard? I'm going to say bringing in the 210 doesn't make a massive difference here. Or maybe that is the slight difference maker. It's very close to me between Chuba Hubbard and J.K. Dobbins. If we're looking at Chuba Hubbard, we don't know that the Panthers aren't going to be using Jonathan Brooks this year in a meaningful way. Chuba Hubbard is okay. He's on a decent contract for the Panthers. He'll probably have a role this year. But I think ideally, Jonathan Brooks comes out and takes a role. So he ends up Chuba Hubbard and Brooks in a split backfield, which will set you up as a good comparison for J.K. Dobbins in a split backfield with R.J. Harvey. The 210 in a 10-team, 1 quarterback where you're only starting 8 is not very worthwhile to me. It's pick 20 overall. So if you're coming from a 12-team league, I don't know that it's obviously not the same, but even this late, getting pick 20 is not that valuable to me. Most of the picks taken at 210, 211, 208 in that range. I was looking at them for a video that we'll put out on Friday. They are mostly misses, and they are mostly big misses. So unless you felt like you could take the 210 and trade it for something else, I don't know that I'm really going to say there's a winner here. J.K. Dobbins is probably going to score similarly to Chuba Hubbard in fantasy. I'm going to give a slight edge to Chuba Hubbard on production between those guys. But if we're just looking at this trade, I'll say slightly, barely the J.K. Dobbins and the 210. I don't love it, but slightly, barely the J.K. Dobbins and the 210 side. So that was when they came in live on the show today. If you are watching and you did not catch how to submit your trades, we'll do a quick swap to that. We'll be doing this trade show weekly throughout the off season. We think it'll be on Wednesdays right now. If you want to submit trades of your own, you can come to boombustfantasy.com. I'm logged in right now, but if you log in, if you come to the site, it'll ask you, we'll show that. I'll log out and we'll take a look at that. So when you're logged in, here's the home page. It's going to give you a banner here saying the site is currently in testing. If you find a bug, you can join our Discord channel and type that here. It'll say get started or log in up in the top right. You can hit get started. And right now it's only going to let you log in using our Discord. In the future, we'll set this up with email or Gmail access. But right now we really want to be testing out the Discord connection. Once you've logged in, it'll connect with your Discord information, and on the profile page, you can type in your sleeper name. It will sync all of your leagues. Here's my name. There's my first name, last name. Find me, kill me if you want to. You hit sync leagues. It's going to pull all of your leagues that you're in on sleeper.com. You can select any one of them. It'll also put them in a drop down here. You can select whichever league you want to submit a trade for. And then on the trade advice tab, type in who you want to ask a trade about. It'll search all the players as you go here. You're Josh Allen for Drake May. And then you can select request expert review, and that will submit it in the queue for the trade show. One of the things that we're testing is also the post to Discord option here. You can check that. You can do both or just either one. You can submit for community and expert review. If you just submit it to the Discord, it'll go into our Boom Bust Fantasy Discord in the Dynasty Trade Questions channel with a poll for people to vote on and a link where they can see details about the trade. So if you're just joining us later, that's how you submit a trade. Let's jump on to the next one here. So we did get one earlier that we covered live on the show. Let's go to the next one. Make sure I don't click on one that we already hit. Here's the next one. This one came 11 days ago. We're catching up on a backlog here. We got Killa Mike asking, let's go back to the page. Killa Mike with a trade. Jalen Waddle for Cam Scatterbo. Their notes, they're in a rebuild with the 101. Their other starting running backs are Etienne and Tootin. Only solid wide receiver was Ibuka, so I wanted to start creating some depth. So if I'm in a rebuild and I have Cam Scatterbo, would I move him for Jalen Waddle? I don't see a massive reason not to. If you can't get something else, I don't know that this is a bad deal. Scatterbo for Waddle. This is one of those where it feels pretty fair. I'll probably give a teeny, if I have to give a teeny tiny edge on either side, I would say the Jalen Waddle side for the wide receiver, for the upside in Denver. Maybe right now, some of the uncertainty about New York and what they're going to do in the draft. Do they take Jeremiah Love with their pick and move on from Cam Scatterbo? It would not be the first time that we see a running back taken from day 3 of the NFL draft look good in their first year with one coach, and then a new head coach come in and they move on to a different running back. Wouldn't be the first time that happened. So if I have Cam Scatterbo, I'm not holding him too close. Would I move him for Jalen Waddle? Sure. You could also look at moving other pieces with Cam Scatterbo to go for a higher tier receiver. Or if you're in a rebuild, just moving for Jalen Waddle where we feel like the value is a little bit more insulated. Maybe not as much ceiling. We don't know that. I mean, we saw only a few games from Cam Scatterbo. It's possible he has a big breakout in his second season. That's possible. It's a little bit more unknown, but I'd be fine moving him for Jalen Waddle. So I'm going to click a slight edge on Waddle there. I don't know that I would really say that they won the trade. Just I could be fine. This is one of those where sometimes people are just asking for permission on their trade or just hearing that they're not crazy on their valuation. So I would be fine with that. Let's jump to the next one. This one comes in from ASAP Could Be. We've got Devonta Smith and a projected late third for a 27 first and Jalen McMillan. And that is about, let's check the league details. It's a 12 team super flex, start 10 PPR, half point tight end premium. That's what our boom bust leagues are. We'll probably wait until the real life NFL draft before we start up our next startup, boom bust 10. And I think we might do it a few days after the NFL draft. But this is the league settings we use. Would I move Devonta Smith for a 27 first and Jalen McMillan? If I'm starting a rebuild, yeah, I think that's spot on the price. I know I want at least a first round pick for Devonta Smith and more. Could you take Jalen Smith or Jalen McMillan and get a second round pick? I don't think it would be that hard to do. Maybe you're adding another later pick and getting 2 seconds for Jalen McMillan. I don't think that's a wild price. I don't necessarily feel like I want to be holding Jalen McMillan here. I'd be fine. The way I'm viewing this trade is just Jalen McMillan is liquid value. If I can move him for a second and I'm getting a 27 first and second for Devonta Smith, that's about the price I would need before I would consider moving him. And if you're getting out on Devonta Smith, I don't see anything wrong with this trade. Would I move a 27 first and Jalen McMillan to get Devonta Smith? I think he's going to be 26 this year. Does that show up on your guys' screen? I think it says he's 27 right now. So we still have plenty of years left with Devonta Smith being pretty solid, a solid wide receiver 2 for the Eagles. If they do choose to move on from AJ Brown, I'll probably bump up Devonta Smith's value. But right here, I don't think we're overpaying for a guy before he sees a value rise. A first in Jalen McMillan for Smith, especially if you're a contending team. I'm going to give it the teeny tiny edge to Devonta Smith, but this is not a bad trade. Let's go to the next trade. It'll load up on your screen. It's loading up on my screen. What have we got? We have Tucker Kraft or the 105 in a 12-team, 1 quarterback with 7 starters. If we were playing in a deeper setup, like what we do with our boom bust leagues, where it's 12-team start 10 super flex, then Tucker Kraft is going to have more value. But in a 12-team, 1 quarterback, and you're only starting 7 players, we're really going to need to see a bounce back from Tucker Kraft for him to be worth more than something you're going to end up getting at the 105. At the 105 in a 1 quarterback league, we're probably looking at Kenyon Sadiq or a possible wide receiver. It's possible that the draft in a 1 quarterback league would get you Jeremiah Love, Tate Tyson Lemon, get you to 4. It's not going to be Mendoza, but if Cooper out of Indiana is a first round pick in the NFL draft, he would slot in at 5. Otherwise, we're looking at Kenyon Sadiq around there or a different wide receiver, maybe Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, if he surprisingly goes higher than we think. Would I move the 105 to bring in Tucker Kraft? Probably not. I think I would rather have the 105 and be open to doing other things with it. So I'm going to take the 105 there. And the past 4 or 5 trades have all been pretty close for me. We haven't had any slam dunks where I would go the other direction. I do see some people submitting trades in the chat. I mean, feel free to submit them there for each other to chat about. But for ones that we're doing on the show today, if you want to submit it for the show live, you will have to submit it through the site. Because the live show right now is just testing out the site. All of the trade questions right now are free. Later in the summer, they will switch away from being free. But right now, we're covering everything for free and finding issues with the site. This next trade that we have, Books Hate Kyle, I think I got the name right, is who it comes in from in League of Dynasties. It's a 10-team, 1 quarterback, start 8 PPR. The trade is Nico Collins and Trevion Henderson for Sam Laporta, Travis Etienne, and the 109. Punching up value because if it's a deeper league, it feels like even, but then I would take the side with Nico Collins and Trevion Henderson. if this was a deeper league, but if it's a 10 team, one quarterback, start 8, we want the best players. Or you want the higher tier players more than you normally would if you're looking at like a keep trade cut or the trade values that I use on my daily trade videos. So if you haven't caught me live before, when we're doing our daily trade value videos, we're talking about 12 team, start 10 players, super flex, typically with some sort of tight end premium. And there's a big difference there because in this league, it's 10 teams start 8 and only one quarterback. You're starting 80 players a week across your league, as opposed to 12 teams start 10 is 120 players. So it's multiple more players getting started. That means more value gets split across more players. And a guy like Travis Etienne is more valuable in that league. The 109 becomes more valuable because we're looking at deeper wide receivers from this draft and deeper running backs from this draft. They end up having more value. But if you're in a more shallow league like this, you just need the best players. It just comes down to you need to be getting more of your value pushed up to the top. So on this one, we're going to go Nico Collins and Trevion Henderson, where this would be a closer deal if the league were just a deeper dynasty league. Let me find the next trade up. This is a one-man production. Some shows will have other people prompting stuff. Here we go from my PB&J. The trade comes in a 10-team, 6-point passing touchdown, start 8, PPR. It doesn't. Here's why all the trades are free. This league is not showing how many quarterbacks get started. I think it's a super flex, but I don't have a scoring setting for that. So I'm going to make a note. If you caught us 2 weeks ago, we had a lot more notes and a lot more issues on the live show. So we're going a little bit more smoothly today. Just making a note for myself. Some leagues don't show QB scoring. I assume this league uses quarterbacks. I can see the rosters. They use quarterbacks. I don't know why it's not showing it. There's no quarterbacks involved, so I will just treat this like it's a super flex league and a 10-team start 8. It says 6-point passing touchdown, so maybe there's something. Maybe that's the bug. That's my programmer brain thinking. Let's talk fantasy here. With no tight end premium, would we rather have Drake London or Trey McBride? It's going to be really, really close. On this team, I do see they have Brenton Strange, Sam Laporta, Isaiah Likely, Elijah Arroyo, TJ Hawkinson. They have the 103. So they're probably bringing in other receivers. I would be fine moving Trey McBride. If there's no tight end premium and it's just a PPR, we're seeing enough changes in Arizona where I think this is fine to make a swap. This is one where I'm gonna call it even. I think Trey McBride is coming off of one of the better tight end seasons that we've seen in a long time. I don't know that his target rate is going to stay as high as it was last year. I think we're going to see a dip in production from Trey McBride this year, which is going to put him pretty close in line with Drake London. There's no tight end premium here. I think I'm going to take the Drake London side, or call it even. That's about where I'm going to have that one. I'll submit that. I'm watching this to see if it actually submits that. Okay, so it does some. For the people watching, I'm looking at a dashboard of the trades here. I clicked one earlier to review it, and I hit submit, and it didn't go through and say that it had. So I just wanted to check that one didn't have an issue. The next trade comes in from C. German. I think I've got that. German with 2 N's. We've got a trade here, 12-team Superflex start 10, half-point PPR with a full-point tight end premium on top of that. So, and most players are going to get half a point for their receptions. Tight ends get 1.5 points here. We've got a mess of stuff on one side for CeeDee Lamb, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Isaiah Bond. And really, when we look at trades like this, I don't know if you guys do this. When we're looking at trades like this, CeeDee Lamb, Isaiah Bond, and the same deal, I'm probably just not going to look at Isaiah Bond. I'm going to put a threshold of, do these players even hold weight in the trade? If we have CeeDee Lamb for A.J. Brown, and no disrespect to Juwan Jennings as a human being, or Colby Parkinson or Chimere DK, this is all just kind of a bunch of junk added on top of to A.J. Brown to get you to CeeDee Lamb. Even if we start just lining stuff up and crossing them off, like Jimmy Garoppolo and the chance that he starts somewhere crossing off the 307 as a dart throw or crossing off Chimere Dike. We can just say, like, we're going to take 2 guys here, cross them off, take 2 guys here. Am I trading A.J. Brown, Juwan Jennings into 307 for CeeDee Lamb? Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't care if Juwan Jennings was my real life brother or my mother. I would ship him away, and I want the CeeDee Lamb side here. And adding in all of these picks and players on either side doesn't really change it. If we just cross off all these lower value players, and I'll do that when I'm looking at trades that have elite assets and then just a bunch of other stuff on there, or just like a 3rd round pick in CeeDee Lamb. I don't care how many 3rd round picks you add onto the other side. It's not really going to swing a trade that I don't think is fair to begin with. So I'm going to comfortably say that's the CeeDee Lamb side. Next one up. Let me refresh this to see. As I'm going through this, it's not updating the dashboard of ones that I've done to let me know. So let me find the one that I just did. I've got a list of them. That one said is in progress. Let me find the one we just did. We've covered that. Oh. Okay, I know what's going on. Here is the, let's do this one next. I think they're getting taken off the list when I mark them done. So I can't go to find the last one that's done. And you guys can't see what I'm talking about. Next trade, Nico Collins in the 401 or Jalen Waddle in the 201. And like we were talking about before, the 401 doesn't matter in a deal like this. So just to get a baseline evaluation, I kind of just cross it off and ignore it. For trading away Nico Collins, like what? The 401 doesn't really play here in a way that moves the value significantly. Would I trade Jalen Waddle in the 201 to get Nico Collins? They're actually pretty similar in age. I think on your guys' screen out, the small version I can see 27 years old and 27 years old. Nico Collins has just been producing. We hope that Jalen Waddle gets there. If you have Nico Collins, could I see a world where you're trying to accumulate extra value? So you move Nico Collins, get Jalen Waddle, and hope you get similar production and then just have that 201 to make other deals with? I think that's a fair thought process. I don't think you've gotten to an incorrect conclusion. So there is a world where I'd say, like, sure, Jalen Waddle in the 201. I don't really want to make the 201 and trust it. But if I'm trading away Nico Collins, bringing in Jalen Waddle and hoping that in Denver he gets up to top 12, top 20 production, and then pairing this 201 with another pick on my team or another player on my team to kind of clean up some of that value. Like this, I can look at the rosters for this league. So specifically for not Tony, if you're moving Nico Collins, bringing in Jalen Waddle in the 201, not Tony has Jaden Reed. Can I pair Jaden Reed with the 201 and get a more usable receiver? If I can, and I need that receiver depth, sure. But for this league, not Tony, maybe they are Tony. Tony has Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, A.J. Brown. With this team, where you also have decent quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams as your running backs, I don't see the need to bring in the 201. Like, I don't want to make the 201 as a pick in this year's draft. So I'm probably going to stay with Nico Collins. So specifically for this team, I'm staying with Nico Collins, but there are situations where I would take the Jalen Waddle side and pair the 201 with a 2nd round pick that I have to get up to the 107, the 106, if I could. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's move up to ones that have come in during the live stream. Like here, we've got one from Legend, Koitik. Also, I mean, I'm in a league with Koitik. I think on TikTok, they're Legend. On Sleeper, they're Koitik. Here's the trade. Puka Nacua for the 101, 102, and Tua. Yeah, I think I might take the picks. Let me flip this into other players. Would you take Puka Nacua or Genty and around the 102, or if we're looking at quarterbacks, it's like around Jackson Dart or higher. At the 102, we're looking at Ted McMillan or higher. And I mean, Tua is not nothing, but he's not a ton in this trade. Is this a horrible deal? No. If I have the picks, do I want to ship both of them away for Puka? Unless I'm an elite value team. Well, here, I'm looking at, so this is Koitic sending away the picks for Puka Nacua. They have CeeDee Lamb. They have Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton. The team has Brock Bowers, Kyle Monangai. If I just sort decent value of the team, like I may stay with. Hey, actually, are you in the chat? I don't know. I mean, I've got a mix of names that I've used for this person before. They don't have the 102, according to my view of their league. They've got the 102 and the 202. And if I'm sending the 102 and the 202 for Puka, the trade on this site and the trade on your guy's screen will show the 102 and the 2 and the 101 and the 102. And I don't know that I want to send all of that for Puka unless I'm an amazing value team and this is what's going to push me in to win the championship this year. But the roster that I'm looking at here shows that you have the 102 and the 202. And if that's what we're doing, then I'm definitely sending the first overall pick, a second round pick, and Tua for Puka. I'm just going to type in the notes. I think you have the trade entered incorrectly for the picks you actually have, or there could be a bug on the site. So we'll submit that one. Shane, did you watch Invincible? Me? Is that the comic book cartoon show? I have not. And Brian, bringing up news about Puka. What do I think about Puka going to rehab? I think we're 5 months away from needing. I think we're, no, not 5 months. Right now, it's April 1st. If Puka Nacua is in rehab right now, I mean, hopefully that's a great decision for him. For fantasy football, and what we would need from him, July. Late July, we would want him to be out. That seems reasonable. So there's a very real chance that him being in rehab right now, I don't know exactly when he got there. I know the news broke today, or that's at least when I saw it. I don't know that Puka Nacua being in rehab, unless it goes horribly wrong, is going to affect his value for this year much at all. We could realistically end up in a situation where regular redraft only players come back and a fair amount of them don't know. Maybe the people watching this show, watching a show about fantasy football in April, will all know, but plenty of people will be in leagues and not even know that he was in rehab. That's very entirely reasonable. Let's jump to the next one. Let's go with this version. I think someone submitted this one twice. Okay, Eamon. Is it Eamon or Eamon? I see the message sent one in the platform. We'll pull that one up right after this one that I had already clicked on. This deal, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Algier, and a second. I think, so the notes on this trade here is that Neo Trades traded the package for Pickens. That is fine by me. That is fine by me. Tyler Algier signs with Arizona to be one of 3 running backs. I know there was a time this offseason when people were pretty excited about Tyler Algier being the lead back somewhere. We had seen him be a lead back in Atlanta before they drafted Bijan. And he was a 1,000-yard rusher. And I think that was back when we only played 16 games. Like, that's a good threshold. We've seen him be a good running back. He was getting on the field with Bijan because he's not bad. Bijan's just excellent. If someone gives you a great car for a great price, you take it. And that's kind of what the Falcons got with drafting Bijan. It fell to them. He was excellent production. You kind of just have to take him and make it work, even though you already have Algier. Algier on the Cardinals, though, I'm not loving that as much. So he kind of just holds no value for me. So if I can take Algier treating him as like a second round pick in trades, pair him with a projected late second, which might actually be if it's your own and you're getting George Pickens and moving Jalen Waddle. I may just take the better production that we've seen from Pickens. And we're going to hit that one. I have the option to click a team barely wins or a team just wins. So I'm going to say I'm taking the Pickens side. I definitely would not trade Pickens to go the other way. Ooh. Bit of a sore throat coming through. We've been going for, on my screen, about 40 minutes. I'm going to submit that one. Reviewed. Oh, that one said it's already been reviewed. Let's get into, who did we see? I don't see a specific trade from the name XX Peril X from Eamon. If that's your sleeper name, that's what I would see. We're going to go from the ones. We have one that was submitted a couple hours ago from, I think it's AZN, some Asian something. I don't want to get this one wrong. Here the trade is 10-team Superflex, start 10, half-point PPR. On one side, it's Trey McBride, Devon Achane, a third and a fourth. And on the other side, it's Drake London and Brian Thomas. And I don't know why there's a third and a fourth on this side. If we're adding picks to a side here, I would have thought it would be the Brian Thomas side. Maybe people are still holding Brian Thomas in high regard. But if we're looking at values here, Drake London and Achane, if we're just trying to break a trade down, there are times where I'll just kind of cross guys off in the trade mentally. London for Achane, it's not insane that would be a swap. I probably give a slight edge to London as a wide receiver, but the rest of this doesn't add up at all. Brian Thomas for Trey McBride and a couple picks. Like, why the pick should be on the Brian Thomas side, and it wouldn't be enough. So that one's a slam dunk. Give me the Trey McBride side. If I have Drake London and I feel like I need to hold on to him because he's a good wide receiver, I feel like you're getting enough to just get back to a good wide receiver. Or even if Drake London was my only wide receiver, you have to make a deal like this and then just trade Achane and trade McBride for better receivers and come out ahead. James saying that's not even a real trade. I mean, everything here, when we do our daily Dynasty TikToks, those are all real trades that have been completed. Some of these are just questions that people are submitting. The context on that one was that someone had submitted that to them. I think the Trey McBride side had submitted it to the other person. I think we covered this one. Yeah, we covered this. We covered that one earlier. Let me mark it as done so it goes out of the queue. I think we took that side. Let's get the next trade on the board. We had already covered this Chuba Hubbard one. Here's one also from PokeChop. And then we have one from, I don't know, it's Zixiaxi. You'll see the name when it comes up. And actually, let's jump to them. How do you say this? I don't know how to say this person's name. I'm pulling up the trade and vamping a little bit. It's Zigzagzox. Here's the trade. 10-team, one quarterback, start 10 or start 7. So a shallow league. Trevion Henderson, the 110, the 201. This is a 10-team league. So remember, the 201 would be pick 11, not pick 13. And that does actually matter with what we're looking at in this draft. Eamon, your sleeper is E-Dog. This is the most recent one that I saw. I can maybe refresh this to see if yours has shown up. I don't see one from E-Dog. So maybe there's an issue. Oh no. Jane, let's I have been glancing at the chat. James, we do have a rule. You could say most things to me in the chat. No one is ever gonna talk back to Scuba Steve. He's here daily moderating. We'll move on. James will go forward into that long dark night alone. Let's get back to this trade. In the 10-team, one quarterback start 7, a shallow league, we're starting 70 players each week. And this league may have kickers and defenses. I don't typically look at kickers and defenses on the site or take them into account for trades. Would we move Trevion Henderson, the 110, the 201 to get Michael Wilson, the 104 and Wandale? This is one of these trades where I'm seeing the values happening right now in real trades. People taking the 110, the 201, and they are swapping for around Michael Wilson and Wandale Robinson. If I have the 110 and the 201, this is not really what I'm looking to do with them. Trevion Henderson for the 104, that's not crazy value. So if we're just trying to get down into where are the values not aligning on a trade, I'll say 104 and Henderson somewhat line up. They somewhat line up. So am I moving Michael Wilson for the 110? Am I moving the 110 for Michael Wilson? Personally, no. I know that there are plenty of people who really like Michael Wilson or think that that's a fine value. And then the same thing for the 201 and Wandale. I don't. We've seen multiple years of Wandale Robinson being like a fine wide receiver 3. I think if I have the 110 and the 201, I'd be happier trying to pair them together and move up in the draft. This is one of those where I'm going to say it's pretty even, but I think I just want the picks. Eamon, so the Henderson side is better. I wouldn't, if I had the Henderson side, I wouldn't send it going the other way. I would try to find other stuff to do. So hopefully that makes sense. Sometimes when I hear trades get discussed on different podcasts, they look at it just as kind of the trade as presented. Here's one side, it's Trevion Henderson, and the only thing you could do with them is trade them for the 104, and the only thing you could do with the 110 and 201 is trade them for Wilson and Wandale, and that's not true, because you can always go field other offers. So if I had those picks, I'm not settling on this offer. I'd probably hold them or look for a different one. Okay, voice is starting to fade. We will see how long we can go. Josh from Newfoundland back on the Twitch. Welcome back. For the people who have been fantasy football only and have come back and are watching on the stream now, I do remember a lot of the names. So thank you for coming back. I'll let you guys watch in private. I see plenty of names that I remember. So thank you for coming back and watching again. I do really appreciate it. And then Eamon, I think that was you. The name that it showed me there, it looks like it's not showing the exact name that that we would have expected from each other. I did see eDog as a sleeper username. It looks like the submitter might be a Discord username. That part I'm not sure yet. Here's the next trade. That was your trade, Eamon? Okay, good. So on my screen, it does show, it pulled up the league information and I did see eDog on there. So I'll take a look. I'll actually make a note of that. Sorry about the dead air there. I was writing down that I need to confirm what name is shown as the submitter name. So here we have H White 225. We'll assume they know who that is with the numbers there. Here's the trade. 12-team Superflex, start 10, PPR, 0.75 for a tight end premium. One side, Trevor Lawrence, Luther Burden in the 203, or Josh Allen and Bucky Irving. It's not close. So here are the notes. I know we had James in here. I get these comments. I feel like we all know which side of this deal we want, right? Right? Okay, Coolio 285, I do see you. I feel like we all know which side of this deal we want. It's the Josh Allen side. And I don't know why I keep reaching for my mouse, like you guys are going to see my mouse moving around, but I'm circling Josh Allen's face on my screen. With the side of the deal we want here, it's the Josh Allen side. And the notes in the trade, I do want to call out. We are just going through the trades as they're presented. Just had the Josh Allen side offered to me. Thoughts? I'm a Burden guy, but it seems like A good time to potentially sell high with DJ moved? I don't care if you are Luther Burden in real life. You just have to take it. The Josh Allen side and Bucky Irving, Luther Burden and Trevor Lawrence alone is not enough for Josh Allen. The 203 is not enough for Bucky Irving. I don't know. I don't know which side. I don't understand how someone with Josh Allen is offering this. We're taking the Josh Allen side. It's not close. What I do want to add for people watching is these trades happened. The notes on the trade here is the Josh Allen side came and offered that to the other team. There are times where people just misvalue things, or they really like Luther Burden and they're excited for what Burden can be. The best advice to take from a trade like that, because I get these comments on our TikToks, on our YouTube shorts, like these trades aren't real. These trades are crazy. Like these trades happen. So if you're just waiting around for, I mean, in this case, a great trade just showed up at your door. That doesn't happen that often, but you can get great trades if you're out there asking. Luckily for the Trevor Lawrence team here, the Josh Allen manager came and said, do you want Josh Allen for very little? Would you like Josh Allen for very little? I would like to make this deal. Do you want to? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. But sometimes you can get these trades if you're the Trevor Lawrence side and you're just asking like, hey, do you like Luther Burden? Are you excited for Luther Burden? Do you want to do a deal like this? I'm looking to up tier to Josh Allen, and sometimes they happen. So get out there and ask. We've got months now. We've got April, May, June, July, August, all coming up for you to go out and make your teams better. These trades do happen. They do get sent back and forth to each other. It's uncommon, but they do. Let's go. We've got another trade here. This one came through 2 days ago. Sean Cutts submitted a trade. It's a 12-team Superflex start 10. The scoring here, we state it because that's just kind of a habit of reading the league details. DeAndre Swift or a 27 first. Here it says the 27, or just as 27 first. I don't care if it's the last pick of the 27, or the last pick of the first round in 2027. I'm fine moving on from DeAndre Swift for a random 27 first. Excuse me, when I talk a lot, I start to burp. In this deal, yes, if I have DeAndre Swift, we've covered sent phrases like this before. Even if DeAndre Swift is my only running back, you have to trade him for the 27 first here. It's not because 27 first is a great class, although we think it is, or that you have to trade DeAndre Swift and then wait to use this 27 first. You trade DeAndre Swift for the first round pick because it's just worth way more. You trade DeAndre Swift away. You could trade this 27 first for, I don't know, you add a little bit and get James Cook right now. And James Cook is younger than DeAndre Swift and puts up better numbers. So we're taking this first because we know that we can trade it for more somewhere else. So we definitely want to move on from Swift here and take the first. This one is not really all that close to me. And we do look at the context of your team when we're going over trades, but here it's enough on the other side that it doesn't matter. I'm going to refresh the dashboard here. I do have trades that we can keep going through. I'm going to look to see if we have any that have been submitted. We'll jump through that actually. Let's pull up. If you're looking to submit your trades for the live trade show, let me make sure this, I have two different browser windows open with the same website up here. Here's how you do it. I'm currently logged in. We'll just go through the steps. I'll log out and we'll talk. Here's how you submit your trade if you want to get it covered on our trade show. We'll do these weekly. I'm thinking we're going to set it in for Wednesday through the off season. Scoob, I see your question. We'll cover that right on here too. I'm thinking we're doing it Wednesday. I'll work it out with my wife what night works for us as a family, but there will be at least one weekly trade show. But all trades will come in through the boombustfantasy.com website. Because on the website, we get your team information, we get your league scoring information. I want to give you the best advice that we can. And there was a trade show I did last summer, Dynasty Fantasy Football Trade Show. I did it with Dynasty Price Check, Stan. We did one together. And someone submitted a trade and said, I'm a rebuilder. Should I move these players for first round picks? And the trade seemed okay. They said they were a rebuilder, but we pulled up their league. They were not a rebuilder. They should not be trading for more picks. They should have been doing the other thing. They should have been taking all of the picks that they had already accumulated and starting to trade them for a contending assets. So a trade that looked good one way, once we actually got the context of the league scoring, the state of the league, it seemed clear that no, you don't want more picks. You want to start sending these picks away for players. So that's why we submit all the trades to the site so I can see what is actually happening in your league, what's your league scoring, what's your team look like, and then give you sometimes suggestions for other trades or counters to go back on. On the live trade show, we probably won't go into the as deep nitty gritty of how to counter trade offers. But in the trade reviews, I have a text box where I can type in notes, and I do often do that and say, hey, why don't you get this added in on top? Let's go with, so here is how the site looks when you come to it. The last time I checked on the dashboard, we didn't have any more. We'll go through this. We have some other trades that we'll cover. We'll see if any ones from the live show come up, and then we'll probably wrap up in the next 20 minutes. Here is the site. It'll say get started here. You can also click log in. I could change this to say log in, sign up. We're going to go with get started. Right now, we are only doing this if you have a Discord account, because this site also will post trades to our Discord with your league settings so that other people in the community can review each other's trades. You'll hit continue with Discord. It's going to take you out here. We have our Boombot Discord bot. You'll authorize this. If you're logged in on Discord, you may need, if you're not logged in currently on Discord, you'll have to log in. And then that's going to update. Here's my Discord username. Here's a picture of me and my daughter. And Catalina Wine Mixer is the name of one of the leagues I'm in. Once you have synced it on your profile page, which you can get to right up here on your desktop profile, you can type in your sleeper username. There's my sleeper username. It is my first name and last name. You can click sync leagues, and it's going to pull all of the leagues that you're in. So now throughout the rest of the site, anytime you click up here, there's a drop down with all of the leagues that you're in. You select the league where you want to ask a trade question, and it's going to know the scoring of that league. Then you come to trade advice and type in the trade you have a question about. We've got options here. We may clean this up, but these options will stay the same. You can click post to Discord if you just want to post it to Discord for free. That will always stay free, I think. And then here, request an expert review. It says it uses 1 trade credit. Right now, everything is free while we're testing it. In the future, trades will probably be something that ends up being paid as we're starting to get more and more requests coming in. But if you click this, it's going to add it to the queue for the live trade show. Right now, it is entirely free. There's no credit card or anything required. There's no options to do that. You just hit that and you hit submit, and it's going to show up in the dashboard. That is how you submit your trades for questions. Now, if you want your team reviewed, we did silently turn that on this week. Here, I am logged in. I have a league selected. If you hit request team review, well, it just broke. So everything is in testing. I'm going to look at why that did not go through right before. It may be because I've already submitted that team for review, but the team advice review page has been built. It was working when I tested it earlier. So if it's not working today, it will be working tomorrow. We are in testing, and in our Discord, we will post for sure that is live, that you can submit your teams for team reviews. We'll also have a team review stream. Depending on how many team reviews come through, we'll do that. So I'm going to check out the trade show dashboard to get a gauge. Did we get any other trades coming through? I'm doing some clicking that you guys can't see. I just need to type. It doesn't look like it. H. White just submitted a team review. We will do those as a separate team review one. Coolio, I think you're working on it right now. We'll see if that one comes through. Coolio. And then Coolio, I did see the reason that everything is free right now is some stuff doesn't work. So for example, Coolio pointed out 28 picks aren't available yet. We'll get those added in the next couple days. So if you have a trade involving 2028 draft picks, that'll get fixed in the next couple days. We'll see if that one comes through. I do have a trade here. Let's see here. One came from PokeChop 30 minutes ago. We've got a deal. Let's pull up the trade show or the trade visuals. On one side, in a 10-team, one quarterback, start 8. On one side, we've got DeAndre Swift, Jordan Addison, a 27 first and a 27 second, or Justin Jefferson. I'm taking the Justin Jefferson side here. If it feels close to you, the league scoring here really does play into it. It's a 10-team, one quarterback, start 8. We're only starting 80 players each week as opposed to 120 or more in deeper leagues. So Justin Jefferson is just going to hold more value as a top scoring piece. Assuming he gets back to being a high scoring asset, I'm not sure I even need the 27 third on here as part of the deal. I'm taking the Justin Jefferson side. I just want the higher end option. DeAndre Swift is a good piece. Jordan Addison's a good piece. A 27 first, probably the most valuable piece on this side, on the left-hand side of your screen. But if you have Justin Jefferson, you can start swinging trades and just coming away with more. So if you have DeAndre Swift, Jordan Addison, the first, and you move it away for Justin Jefferson, you don't even have to keep Justin Jefferson. You can just start making other follow-up trades and end up in a better situation than Swift, Addison, and a first. So I'm taking the Justin Jefferson side on that one. Let's see if that one from Coolio came through. Nothing yet. Joe Daddy, how are you doing? What do you think about trading away a late fourths for fab money? Late fourths for fab? I'm not in a ton of leagues where fab ends up making a huge difference. Why? Late fourths for fab? Sure. I'll say I don't have a massive amount of experience where the fab money ends up being the deciding force. Like in a regular redraft league, yeah, I do care about my fab budget and I think about it throughout the year. But in a dynasty league, there's just not that many players that end up showing up and becoming valuable that I kind of just blow it early. I blew 30% of my fab on Evan Ingram recently. Someone had dropped them. Just because you're not going to get that many players that end up getting dropped or available there. So sure. I mean, fourths are pretty much dart throws anyway. So I may go with the player that's on fab. And if talking through the question, probably the fab. All right, Coolio, I see you in the chat. We've got your trade pulled up here. You said it got submitted incorrectly. You have to give more context and info. We have a text box for context and info. Let's pull this one up on the screen. We're going to have people popping in and viewing it. Put the context in the chat. I'll do my best to include it. But for right now, I'm just going to call it as it is on the screen because I won't be able to update the screen. We've got a 27 first round pick, Chris Rodriguez and Patrick Mahomes on one side, Saquon Barkley, Jordan Love, and Marvin Harrison on the other. This is very, let me know what other context or info to add on here. It's feeling like the Mahomes side. Assuming Mahomes comes back and is producing by October, then it's going to end up being the Mahomes side here. Getting the first round pick, getting Patrick Mahomes, like what would it take to move off? What would I need to add to Jordan Love to get to Mahomes? Marv, at least. That's where I'm starting on that one. And then Saquon for a first and Chris Rodriguez. It's feeling close. We'll call it pretty close. Let me know what the other context is on this one, Coolio. Joe Daddy, where do you submit these? You're right. You can't see. Let me make a note to add a banner of where to add these. We have our website, joedaddyboombustfantasy.com. We'll do our best. Like right now, everything is free because things are in testing. Like I'm making notes about changes to make on the live show, changes to make to the site. I just started writing something and I've already forgotten it. Oh, I remember. Let me write it down. There we go. Luke, it was probably about Christian Watson. It wasn't. I'll tell you, Luke. That's Luke in the chat. He's bigger fantasy page on TikTok than I am. So if If you are not following Luke Garza, he's in TikTok. He's in the chat right now on TikTok. Make sure you hit his page up and follow him. He's very close to 30K. Again, close to double me. Close to double me. Get him past it, but he's not double me. So get him there. He says, brother, I lose 100 followers a week. Join the stream. Let's get him 100 followers off of this stream alone. Appreciate the love. I mean, Luke works hard. He earns it. Luke works hard. He earns it. Coolio, on top of that, Mahomes side also gets a 28 first and a 28 second on top. So we're going slow on this one. We're getting closer to the end of the show. The Mahomes side gets a 28 first on top, then I'm definitely going the Mahomes side. If this deal, as shown on the screen, is Mahomes, Rodriguez, a 27 first and a 28 first and second on top, then I'm taking that side because it already felt somewhat close. Coolio, can I see your squad? Yes, you're the Jordan Love side. So I see back-to-back champ as the team name with Jordan Love. Actually, let's we're getting later in the show. I'll just resize this and then swap the Jason, I see your question. We'll cover that one. Let's do this. If I go to the browser, that's I could do this. Okay, here's the best way to do this. I'm gonna freak my own bean over here, like blow my brain up, trying to show this. I'm looking for Sean Cuts. That's why. Here we go. Here is the trade for Coolio. We've got Coolio's squad here. Jordan Love was the side of the trade that we were looking at. So this is how I see your team. You're moving Jordan Love. You are moving Marv, moving Saquon here and bringing back Mahomes and multiple firsts. Yeah, I like the Mahomes side of that deal. So this is the view that I'm looking at when we go through these, Coolio. And for anyone watching. And then I think we had to cover it for Jason. Joe Daddy, it says it can't log you in with your Discord. I don't know that I can do the technical support right now. If you're on your phone, try it on a desktop. Otherwise, I can get deeper into that. Scoob, you sent in a trade. Let's pull one up. Jason, here's how you submit those on boombustfantasy.com once you are logged in. The video will exist, Jason, on YouTube. We've gone over this a few times. So I won't log out for the people who've been watching. But on the website, once you are logged in, it's boombustfantasy.com. It'll ask you to, right now we can only log in using Discord because part of the trade tool that we have is that it will post your trade to Discord as a poll with a link so that people can view all of the rosters and context. So on boombustfantasy.com, we have the trade advice page. You can type in your trade here and then hit request review and click submit there. Let's jump to, I think Scoob said he had one. We do have a trade from 3 minutes ago from Hypersize. That's Scoob. At least that's the league I'm in. Why is this broken? Okay, so Scoob, I do see the one you submitted. I don't know why this, oh, there it is. Just wasn't big enough. Here's the trade in a 12-team Superflex start 10. I think you just submitted one. I'm looking at the notes of the trade here. This just says it's a test trade to no one in particular. Is it a test trade to me? Oh, it's a test trade to me. Okay. Oh. Okay. In this deal, so I have to remember to say all the things that I'm thinking because I just went on a thought journey that the audience did not join me on. This trade comes from Scoob in the audience. It is in League Boom Bust 7, as you can see on your screen. I am in this league. So the notes that I have from Scoob say this is just a test trade to no one in particular. On one side, it is DeAndre Swift and David Njoku in a 12-team Superflex start 10 with the tight end premium with Njoku in here. And the reason it says it's a test league to no one in particular is because I have the Bucky Irving side of this trade. This is a league I am in. Scoob, would I send DeAndre Swift and David Njoku for Bucky Irving? I want Bucky Irving comfortably here. So I'm clicking the Bucky Irving side. I'm submitting that one. If you sent that to me, that would be one of the ones that I kind of just quickly decline. Luke, if I say all the things I'm thinking, TikTok will surely report me. I will tell you, I have been in the I've gotten into the habit of just saying the things I'm thinking on these streams, and I haven't been banned, and I'm thinking horrible things. I was thinking that before starting the show today. I don't know why, but I was nervous to do this. And while I was thinking, I had to shower because I was sweaty and stinky. I thought, I've done hundreds of hours of live streaming this year. Why? I don't know why this one in particular had me a little bit nervous. I think that is the last one that we have currently from recently. I'm refreshing the live trades for anyone who sent those through. We covered Coolio's. I'm going to put one last one on the screen. Let's go with this one. This will be the last one that we cover today. We will be back for sure next week. So if you have trades, submit them. Joe Daddy not working on desktop either. Okay. I don't have an answer for you today in our Discord. We make changes and push out new versions of the site every 1 to 2 days. So hopefully that gets working for you. I can look into it, but unfortunately, it's not something I can solve at this moment. Final trade of the day, Kogonzo paragliding with the boys is the league 12-team Superflex start 10 point per reception, half point for tight ends. On top of that, it'll get you 1.5 points for every tight end reception on this deal. What do you want, Jahmyr Gibbs or the 102 and 103? Am I moving Jahmyr Gibbs for the 102 and the 103? Two good receivers. I mean, if we just punch this in for current players, I don't always love to do this. I don't know that I'm doing that. Jahmyr Gibbs, am I moving him for 2 shots at good receivers this year? No. Seen in the chat from H. White, Gibbs all day. It's definitely paying full price for Gibbs, or paying, like, you're not getting him at a super discount. But I don't know that I'm moving for the context of the team here. This is a team that has Jahmyr Gibbs, Omarion Hampton, and then not much else at running back. Ja'Cory Krusky-Merritt, Tyrone Tracy. At wide receiver, they have Ladd McConkey, Shakir, Romeo Dobbs, Jalen McMillan, and no picks. Like, this team, actual in this situation, possibly. You could also get more, would be the other thing. Am I looking to trade away Jahmyr Gibbs? Yeah, with the team you have, and because this is the last one that we're looking at, let's throw it up on the board. This will be the final trade we look at tonight. Anything submitted will get thrown into the queue for next week. And we'll for sure be back next week. Site just didn't load. Trying to type in my browser. Here it is with the team context. Jahmyr Gibbs, Omarion Hampton, like, good running backs, good quarterbacks, no receivers, no picks this year or next year. Is this a contending team in a 12-team Superflex start 10 with Ladd McConkey, Khalil Shakir, Romeo, like, no receivers? Maybe Mike Evans gives you good production this year. Can you get by? You're eking by. You're pushing it in for your finer one. The Gibbs side, is he worth more than the 102, 103? I don't know that this is the deal that I take to move off of Gibbs with this team. Like, with this team, can I take Gibbs and I want to add stuff to Gibbs to get more on top of there and down tier to other things. Jason was working on sending in the trade. If you're working on it and we get to the end and it's there, like, we'll take a look. Otherwise, yeah, it would for sure go into the queue for next Wednesday. And realistically, if this grows, like, we could end up with a trade show more often than just once a week. So yes, I, for the situation, for what Jason is asking in the chat, any trades that don't get covered on this one will get covered on the next one. It'll for sure be at least once a week. If it needs to be more often to meet the demand, then it will be. With this deal, my Sid Jameer gives to the 102, 103, I would want more. I would want more, and I would want to do more with it, accomplish more. So I'll take the team one side. Do we have it? That's true. That is true. So we are live for trade shows. We're doing them at night in the off season. We are still live Monday through Friday. We aren't covering fantasy football. We do play games right now. So we are still live on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, we're live on the same Twitch page. If you're watching on TikTok, we do have a separate page that is just gaming, so that if we go live on this page, you'll know it's fantasy football related. That's Boom Bust Gaming. The videos look very similar. I'm the same dude filming them in the same spot. We're just talking about video games. We're playing video games. We're live every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 Central Time, the Lord's time, the time of Abraham Lincoln. We're at 9 o'clock. I just realized that. And normally my wife is right over there hanging out, but she has not been in the room because I'm in here yelling about fantasy football players. We are going to wrap things up. If you've been watching, thank you for being here. I don't know if you're here. I'm thanking everyone who's here. Thank you very much. Coolio, get the coffee. It is bedtime. There was a coffee pot down there behind me. I must have already cleaned up the room. We are going to sign this off. Thank you very much. If you have trades for next week, get them submitted, and we will be back to go over those as well. I feel a lot of gratitude, so I keep saying thank you, but I'm just going to find all the buttons to click to end the show. If you feel like you want to catch some of this, the last thing I'll say, if you missed portions of the show, this will just be live on YouTube as fully rewatchable video there. If you feel like you asked a question and you missed when it got covered, they will all exist on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you next time.